Hey everybody, just doing another video on Amazon Flex and a third chapter to my situation with Amazon. I actually, I was deactivated, then reactivated, and now I was deactivated again for yet another, the exact same warehouse issue, almost exactly the same. And in the same warehouse, same place. It's like, come on. So, you know, like, I don't even know why I do this to myself, but you know, it's a fun job, easy money. It works for my flexibility, but you know, this deactivating people for stuff that's warehouse issues is like, you got to get a handle on it. So what happened was I had a 1:30 to 3:30 shift, and I was supposed and they had a route number associated with my name, and they're like, you know, I'm ready to go. Then all of a sudden it disappears, and they say, hey, please talk to the warehouse manager or the distribution manager, whoever it is. So I'm like, all right, go and decide to, you know, go in and talk to them. They're like, hey, we got a shift for you, a route for you that's someone else returned or couldn't do. So we need you to do it. It was due at 12. It was a 12 to 1. Even though you're 1:30 to 3:30, you're gonna need to take this on. And I was like, okay. And then they're like, you know, I wasn't thinking like that was gonna be, you know, because the warehouse wasn't late. I figured this would be built into the system, but no, they said, okay, we're gonna actually have to manually go in and make sure that you're not counted as late. I'm like, please, can you do it? Because last time they didn't, and then I ended up getting deactivated. They're like, no problem, we'll do it. And I was like, please, you know, I've been through this before. Can you do it? And they're like, absolutely. Go and do the route. All of them are like, you know, the deadline's 1:30. I got out of there at 1:30, so you know, all of them were obviously late. And actually, you know, I might have had like I could be wrong. I might have had like a 20-minute window, but it was like a 40-minute drive. I mean, literally impossible to get these on time. Like 14 grocery bags, all late. So I'm like, all right. You know, but I said, this is different because they were like really adamant they would help me. Then I go and call support, and just to let them know, like, hey, this is what happened. They were like, they routed me again to email support, talk to email support, go back and forth about 3 to 4 times about, you know, they're telling me like, have no fear, sir, in this generic email, like, that, you know, rest assured, your average will only be affected, or you will only have an issue if you're consistently like late. And I'm like, no, it's not that at all. It shouldn't be late at all. It shouldn't count towards me at all. Can you make sure? And like, go back and forth. They're like, rest assured, you won't. It's only if your percentage goes down. I'm like, that's not the issue. Issue is I shouldn't have this count at all. So you know, after like, you know, you're basically getting the exact same email back and forth. So someone is cutting and pasting. I've had this issue a million times, where someone is not answering your questions with the Amazon email service. Either whoever they're contracting through is not helping Amazon. It's really, I mean, like the worst responsiveness I've ever worked with. I mean, it's just a cut and paste or generic robot type thing. But regardless, you know, I do that. And then lo and behold, a week later, it says that I'm from 100% to 94%. You know, I did about 8 routes until this time. This is June 29th. I did about 8 routes before, maybe more, but I did restaurant, Prime, Flex, a whole bunch of that stuff. Everything was on time. I had one return to the warehouse because there was some like Amazon locker that was where the sun was in the way, and I couldn't see. Like I called support and I was like, I can't see the screen, and they had me bring one back, and you know, the warehouse appreciated me calling in, but that wasn't an issue. And then that was the only thing I ran into, but there was I was not late. I was early on all my blocks. I did. So anyways, I you know, I have this issue. Then I go on vacation for like, or not vacation, I was out of town for like 2 weeks. Come back, I do one flex route. I had a bunch of 9 to 5s. It was a 5 o'clock route. Warehouse is about, you know, an hour late getting you into the warehouse. I get out of there like an hour and a half after. Everything says 9:30, except for a few that were 9 to 5 times. Obviously, you can't do a 9 to 5 when you start a 5 o'clock shift, which would be crazy. I don't know if they're counting the, you know, you was late for a 9 to 5 when you were starting at 5 and getting into the warehouse at 6 and getting out of there at like 6:20. But regardless, you know, that as soon as I finished that block, I was going to do some restaurant ones, and I get an email saying that you're deactivated, and that you're because given that your average is lower than the average person, you're deactivated. So yet again, I'm deactivated. I told them, hey, this is an issue I've seen before. I did the appeal. They, 4 days later, they say your appeal's been rejected. We stand with our original decision. I responded to one of the emails where I was going back and forth about the percentages going down, and I said, let me be blunt. I was like, this is, I'm getting generic responses. No one's responding to my question. They're not answering it, and this is affecting my income. And the way they respond to that is they say, we stand by our original decision, and your instance right here, that's gonna count in your delivery history because literally because I said my income was affected, or I said that you're not responding to me in responses and email. I wasn't rude. I didn't use curse words. I wasn't disrespectful, but I was blunt about the fact that you're not doing your job. A lot of people are not helping, not doing their jobs in a way that they should, and it affected me. I got disconnected. I have no income from this anymore, and that's the response, is that we're going to write you up, even though I'm already terminated. But anyways, that was my getting terminated again from Amazon Flex. Not anything that had to do with me getting a late route. I might as well. That's like asking an employee, hey, you lift 900 pounds or you're fired, and it's literally an impossible task. You can't go back in time and make a route appear on time if people are not entering it in. There's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Terminated. Everything was fine except for one return to the warehouse, and I don't think they would terminate someone for one package having to be returned. People do that all the time, and I did one. My percentages were all 100%, knocked me from 194%, didn't do any routes, then all of a sudden, boom, you're done. So anyways, back to doing some Uber, DoorDash, other stuff. I'm doing this on the side until I have another job coming up, but I was doing this on the side, but my gosh, this is just crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't know how. It's not good for Amazon. I don't think that they higher ups know that it goes on like this, that this is happening to people. So hopefully it changes. But second time I've been terminated for something not my fault, and I assume in 2 months I'll get some email saying I'm reconnected, but maybe because I told someone you affected my income that they permanently banned me. I don't know, but just crazy. Hopefully nobody else. I'm sure other people have gone through this, but just hopefully not a lot of people. So anyways, that's everything for today, and I thought just keep everybody in the loop where that was going. All right, take it easy.